Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And today we do have, today is not the three Spiriteers, but we do have a special guest here to balance just three guys talking here. Now we have a girl, our friend Nady. She's part of the SSI as well. So she she's a kind of our boss there. Okay, when she says something, we say yes, Nate. Yes, that's it. Yeah,
Very true.
yeah. No. Okay, so I want to open the bridge between Ireland and USA. So good afternoon, USA. Good morning, California. Good afternoon, Central America. So it's time to start our talk, and today we're gonna talk about in God's hands. And however, before doing this, start our conversation today, I'd like to invite Wanderlei. Can you do the initial prayer for us, please?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's close our eyes. If you guys feel comfortable doing that, let's take a deep breath. Let's be thankful for the moments we have here tonight. Let's be thankful to be among friends. Let's be thankful for the friends watching us, where we can talk about Spiritism, about the teachings of Kardec, and the Gospel of Jesus. May the good Spirit support and guide us here tonight. May all the spirits who are guiding the Spirit Society of Ireland be present here with us. And I really will hope that each one of us here, discarnate and incarnated, will have a fruitful time and enlightenment thoughts here tonight. Thank God, and so be it.
Amen. Okay, so let me do a just quick reading here. The book is Living and Loving from Divaldo Franco, dictated by the spirit Joana de Angelis. And the topic is serve regardless of retribution. What good you do today will atone for your past errors. One day you shall find the love you seek. Jesus, the unloved lover of mankind, is still here with us, and his love for us is the same today as it was before and as it will be forever. Okay, the big question here we need to discuss is, and by the way, these questions is for you guys on the chat. Please put your comments here in the chat. Let me see. But the big question today is, how many times you gave something to God and took it back and take it back? How many times you said, "Oh God, please sort it out for me," and minutes later you get this back to you? Okay, please put in your comments here. Odelei, Neide, Rodrigo, I know you don't have these problems, but let's suppose you did this before. Let me know when you had done this.
But are you asking today, yesterday, last year, or the whole life?
How many times?
Yeah, so how many times
How
today,
many times?
yesterday, last
Yeah,
year?
let's say just in the past hour.
Past hour, I remember once.
Okay, good. Wanderlei.
I'd say we do that all the time. At the same time that we trust in God, we ask for something or we look for something. In the end, we don't really trust, and we try to, do things ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what we really,
Yeah, let me explain a little bit better more.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, when we are facing a problem, okay? And then this problem is beyond your level of sorting out, okay? So you say, okay, let it be. You put it in hands of God. Say, God, Jesus, please help me to sort this because it's beyond my control. And minutes later, hours or days or seconds later, you are again work on the same problem and don't let things sort it out with the time.
Okay, I think we have two sides of your question. First of all, I really think that whatever issue we have in life, we have to do our best. We have to keep trying, and most of the time we won't know if we came to our limit. Let's say,
Okay.
unless someone is sick, it's really sick in a hospital where that person, you are not a doctor, there is nothing you can do, then the only thing you can do is pray. It's really to trust. But in other situations, sometimes we think, okay, I reached my limit. But did you really? Sometimes it's life say to us, come on, give one more step. Keep going ahead. It's difficult now. I would like to see you give me another step. So depends on the situation. We have to trust in God, but we have also to do our efforts to try to surpass that challenge that we are having, and not just
Okay.
leaving God's hand and said, okay, I'm leaving your hands, do your part. I'm okay here, have my big neck again. No, I don't think that works in this way, you know.
Yeah. Let me give you
But
some.
sorry,
Let
just a
that.
compliment because
Yeah.
sorry,
Go ahead.
just I agree a little bit with what Pandelei said, but I think I was thinking here about it, and I think we are so addicted to everything that we have, all the problems that we face in life. I think the first thing that special for us that are a kind of a religion or you have the faith in God is to ask God for help or to try to get some answers for the God. So I think we have this when we have a difficult situation. The first thing that we do sometimes is to ask God for help or to ask God to help us to solve the problem. And sometimes we do this too frequently, become like a more, don't say something very common, something very normal for us. That oh God, help me to do this. Oh God, help me to do that. Instead of first think and find the solution for ourselves. Can you understand my line?
Yeah. Yeah, I got your point. Like, I'm giving you a true example. Okay. Let's go back 2020 years. No, 2000 years ago. Okay. When Jesus is about to receive the keys from the apostle, and he said, this is in Matthew 26:39. My Father, if it's possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. I'm saying about this.
I know, Steve, but maybe like this situation is a bit different because sometimes we have to really put in God's hands as He did, but at the same time, what Jesus did, in my opinion, he left it, in God's hand, but he did his actions before, he did his part, but he understood
Mhm.
that there was a time that nothing he would do would change anything. I know in life, there are times in life that it happens with us. Such as I
Mm.
said, when someone is really sick, there is nothing you can do except for praying. Doesn't matter how strong how you are, how clever
Yeah.
you are. You have that famous case when a rich man came to Chico Xavier in Uberaba and said, "I'm very rich. My son is dying, and my son passed away, and I need a message from him from the spiritual world." And the Chico said, "I'm sorry, but the phone calls from there to here. It's not I want a message." So the guy wants to impose his riches, all his wealth to Chico, and Emmanuel comes to Chico and said, "I'm sorry, but that's not the way how it works." So it doesn't matter how much money you have in certain situations, how much power. That's it. You have no more actions to take. You just have to trust.
Yeah, but the tricky thing to trust, it's a question of time, because we ask for something, but we want that thing happens in the time we want to. I think that's the more, that, in my opinion, that's at least for me. My problem with giving this some problem to God is I want this to be sorted out as quickly as possible, and I think this is a question of more being patient than truly give this confidence and have faith that something gonna happen. Did you get
Yeah,
my point?
I think I got, but at the same time, I think what you are trying to say more or less like, how much do you really trust in God? Whenever we ask help for Him, how much do you really trust? How much do we say, um, okay, I trust in God, I'm gonna wait for His best, or I'm really putting that into your hands, or whatever, you know? I don't know if that's what exactly what you were trying to say, because I'm still a bit lost in a way that I know what you are saying, but at the same time, I really think that there are time all the time you have to trust, but all the time you have to take our actions also. It's not like I'm just going to trust and allow time to work. I know there are some situations that there is nothing you can do, but again, we are talking about extreme cases. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I understood properly. Maybe we should have spoken a little bit in Portuguese beforehand, because now we are a bit lost, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The great point here is I, how we are dedicated. I'm saying when you give something to in God's hands, you just change your focus. You say, okay, this is in His hands, so I don't need to deal with that. I'm working on this part here.
Maybe
When
maybe we're
when
trying
you
to say maybe we're
yeah
trying to say that we gave something to God to God's hands, and then we wash our hands because it's in God's hands. We
yeah
don't put much efforts to get it started because we believe or we think that God gonna in some magic way gonna get that sorted for us. We leave our actions beside, said, okay, I'm gonna live my life, and because I know this is in God's hands, and then He gonna deal with this for us, and I'm gonna live my life. So I think when you mean took back, and put in God's hands and take it back means something like that.
well, it's a matter. I think one of the points is a matter of trust. You know how trusty you are when you give this action. How is your faith? How is your trust in God? How is your ability to not control everything?
So, in another words, you can say like how much you trust in God to let or to wait the time to solve the problem, with having faith in God to have the solution for that, or we trust in God and many times we want that the things happen the
Mm.
time that we want instead of wait for the right time. If
Yeah,
we, sorry, what I think
yeah, yeah.
I comprehended
It's
it.
more the serenity prayer. Remember the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Yes. Once you know, it's much easier. But the problem is, are you gonna be sitting back and say, okay, I don't know, so I'm just gonna be waiting and accept for the best. Even if we take Jesus' life, Jesus' mission, Jesus being the highest evolved spirit, as according to the spirits, he didn't wait for God to change things. He took upon actions. He had faith himself, but he was taking actions. He did all his work. He put into his life he set his life as an example of practice and work and faith, of course, but he was doing his work. So once we don't know, we don't have the wisdom to accept certain things. I believe that whenever we can, as long as we are not hurting anyone, as long as we are not breaking any law, as long as you are not hurting yourself, you have to keep trying to fix the problem yourself. Because more than likely, as we say here every Tuesday, the problem is given. We have the problem because we committed an action. So it's not the problem.
Okay.
The problem is not something which God gave to me. I committed the action, so I just have to fix my own problem, my own action. So that's why I really believe that you have to do your best. Unless there is a problem, a physical problem, there is nothing you can do. But as long as you have strength to keep going.
Yeah, and well, with what you said, how when we know we did everything we could do, when we know, okay, I give my best, there is nothing I can do. Now it's not just me; it's upon someone. You know, Rodrigo, when is the limit when you say, okay, everything I could do, I did it.
The only thing that I can say here, if we go back, if you have a look on the Spirituals book, there's a question there, 642, and there is saying something like this: do the good on your limit of your strength and your power. Exactly. We never know how far, how beyond we can go with something. We never know.
Yeah.
Maybe we think,
Yeah.
oh, I can go up to here. But if I push a little bit more, I can go further. Or, no, I can get into here, and here's my limit. We never know if you don't try, if you don't put some actions, and we can't. So we will never know the limit until we are tested, until we are in a trial.
Yeah. Let's
Because
put it here.
sometimes we think that we cannot. I cannot live without that person, and then maybe when they passed away or leave me, it will be very hard for myself. I don't know what to do. But sometime later, you are doing better than you have done before.
Mm-hmm.
We will never know, but depend on our actions. I think that's the whole point. No?
Good point. Rodrigo. It is more or less what Camila said here. This reminds me the book The Secret that says we have to ask, believe, and we will receive. However, the missing point is to take action and make things happen too.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I just say here, when you need to believe, is not just, oh, I believe I will win the lottery. You know, but it's you need to. Is that game when you said someone always praying to God to win the lottery, and sometime and someday God just said answer the prayer, said, hey, at least play the game. So when you ask something to God, are you doing your part?
I have an example to give on this, Stephen. Back in 2013, before I came to Ireland, I have a very dear family, my relatives, my aunt. She had a very serious health issues, a health problem. I'm not a doctor. I don't know any doctor. There is no doctor in my family. We need to trust in someone, in another doctor, to get the situation
Sorted out.
Yeah, and it was very delicate the situation. Okay, the only thing that I could do, I could do two things. First, pray. Pray to get everything in a better way, to give her what she deserved. That's what I did. But also, I could help my family through the phone, giving support into them. Say, look, everything gonna be fine. We need to trust. She's a strong woman. She's gonna pass this. We're gonna be laughing sooner. As soon as this passes, we're gonna be laughing. We're gonna be enjoying the life again. So I could choose. I could keep praying, but I could be locked down my room, crying or just thinking bad things, or I could keep praying, or helping my family with some good words. That's the only thing that I could do at that time. Thank God, everything was sorted out. She's okay. She's there now, living another life, a different life, everything changed, even for her, even for my family, everything changed. But I did what I could do until I get my limit. I was not a doctor. I need to trust. I need to rely on the doctors. I need to rely on everybody else that was looking after her and help it. I was asking not to heal, not for the healing, but for the best. And sometimes the healing is not the best, because we don't know what the other people deserves, what's the plan, what they have planned before. But we can do our part.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's true. But the point is, we need to know our limits, and we need to know ourselves. What do you think, Nate?
No, yes. I believe when you say that we have to know ourselves, but related to faith, I believe that we have to trust God, we have to have faith, but it's like Vanderlei said, we have to do our part. Because sometimes I think we are tested, sometimes all the times we are tested. Our faith are tested. And it's like Vanderlei said in the beginning, we are passing for a problem, we are having trouble. I can say, I don't want to be so rushed. When we think like that, it can be very, very difficult. But we have what we have on the life to learn. So the problems that we have, the trouble that we have, is to make us to grow and to learn. For more hard and more difficult that there is, but I don't say that we deserve it, because I think it's not the word, but it's something that we have to go through. And we have to have the faith and to believe in God many times sometimes. And when we do this, when we really put our faith in God, when we really trust in God to help us to solve a problem, to get through a hard time or a problem, we're going to get there. And I many times we will be surprising with the result. We will be surprised for how strong we are, how much we can handle, how we get off from the problem, and how we solve that problem. We will surprise you with yourself, with your action, and this process will teach us. We will learn through this process. I can say this based on my own experience, because I have to do this few times in my life when I really have to put my faith in God, because I thought that I couldn't see the way out of the problem, because it was too hard for me, it was too painful, and I thought that I won't be able to get through this. Right? I'm on the limit of my strength, and I can't handle this anymore. And I really have to put all my faith in God in that moment, really put in God's hands, like you said in the beginning. And the result of this was incredible, because when everything passed and when everything was solved and the problem was passed, and I looked back, I even asked myself, how I get through all this and I survived it, and I'm stronger today, and I'm much more wise now because of that, and because I trusted God. And I know that what was holding me to get through was my faith in God, because I believe in God, and I really took this as my way out of the problem. And I think for me this is the way that I see. If you sometimes you really have to trust in God and put your whole life, your whole faith in God, and do what you have to do. Of course you have to look for, you have to make the things happen, like the comment that Camila said. But to do this, if you don't have faith, sometimes you won't be able to do it. You want to have the strength to do it, because you'll be too messy sometimes. You will be too involved in the problem that you won't see the way out. Even if God put in front of you to solve that problem, you are so messy, you are so blind that you won't see. So I think in that moment that you have to believe in God more than ever.
Yeah, sometimes we don't have ability to sort it out. We need to recognize these as well.
That's what I believe that is when you say, know yourself. Know yourself.
Yeah. What are they? What do you have?
Guys, but I think there are two aspects. I could mix Nade's and Rodrigo's point of view, which I think they are wonderful. Rodrigo said something really nice. Okay, I have to trust in the doctor because I'm not a doctor. It's the same as if you go into an airplane. You can get the most atheist person in the world, the person who doesn't believe in anything. Once he goes to a plane, he has faith. He has faith that the pilot will be able to fly the airplane, which I don't know how many kilos, how heavy it is. I have no idea. But he has the faith that the pilot probably had a good night of sleep, so he's gonna do everything okay. So he's gonna be able to land himself and the other passengers with life.
Mm-hmm.
But this faith that Rodrigo is talking about is the rational faith. So I get again what Nate said. Okay, we have to have faith in God, but which faith we have to have? Is a religious faith? Maybe not, because once you have this rational faith to understand, if the life which I have, the situations which are given to me, they are not given by mistake. They are given to me, as Nate said, because I have to learn something and improve myself. If God is just good, I mean, is a loving Father. So it means whatever is happening with me is just because God is a good Father. So once you have this kind of rational faith behind your back, anything can come to you. That if you really base yourself on this topics which are brought to you, you're gonna be like a mountain, nothing, or you're gonna be like a bamboo. You're gonna be shaking with the wind, but you're not gonna break because your faith is strong and it's based upon something and not only in what you think and what you believe. I mean, who are we to believe in something?
Or not because someone told you to do it.
Yes, you are based upon something which makes sense. That's why you think we have to have this strong faith, but using what science brings to us, what even spiritism. Even if you are not a spiritist, you can be based upon science itself if you wish. But you have to have certain. We have intelligence, we have technology, we have a culture nowadays, so we don't have to believe anymore that I don't know. We have hell and we have heaven.
Yeah, but I think you agree with me. Like when we have to make a decision, okay, and if we think about it for a while, analyze the pros and cons, it's better than the decisions when you have to make it like straight away. When you have to make a decision, you need to analyze everything instead of say the other decision straight away without thinking the consequence, without thinking how you're gonna harm not just yourself but your neighbor and everybody. So we need to know that we cannot control time.
True.
Okay, and perhaps I want a new car, but the question is, using the rational faith, is this the right time? Do I have enough money to buy the car, or I need to finance the car? If I finance the car, I will have enough money to pay the installments in 2 or 3 years, or is better, or how much interest I will pay if I borrow this money instead of saving another 2 or 3 years and buy the car in cash. But so it's put the reason of faith, like Rodrigo said. This is thinking rationally. Okay, you got my point?
Yeah, but life's not made of numbers. Sometimes you have gonna have to use your heart and your guts to
Well,
really take the best, So we're not machines. So there will be situations.
Sometimes you don't have even the time to think.
Yes, we don't have the time to think it. Bang, and you have to So what to do?
So I'm asking you this.
No, but think like this.
You're not here to ask, we're to answer as well.
Yeah, think like this, guys. Sometimes there will be situations in life, especially when it involves someone. Let's give a strong situation. Perhaps someone who gets hit by a car, someone goes to the hospital to do a really quick surgery. Are you gonna go into the hospital and start to be thinking rationally? Okay, what I have to do? No, most of us we're gonna go. What do I have to do now? And there will be that time that yes, then I have to agree with you guys that the only thing that you're gonna have to have is faith, and ask for the guidance. And if you have no other, if you don't have any basis because you are too emotional to take upon your decision, get someone that you trust and say, look, help me, be humble. And if you have no one, then comes to my faith side. Pray for whoever you want to pray. Normally I pray to Jesus and I say, come on, my friend, help me. Now is the time. I know you are busy upstairs, but come here, help me right now. I need your help. There will be situations that you have no time. I've been to situations like this. You guys have been to situations like this, and you just have to trust. It's like a jump from a cliff. There is like 1,000 dogs coming to bite you, or there is, I don't know, whatever. What you're gonna be doing? You're gonna jump. I hope for the best.
But there's another thing here as well. We know that we can ask whatever we want to God. We can. But are we ready to receive what we need instead of what we want? You can pray. You can pray for a car, okay, to be able to buy a car. But maybe God gonna give you a bike because you need to exercise yourself a bit more.
Get more humble. Yeah.
Are you ready for a bike? Or you're gonna be so sad that you're gonna blame God because you got a bike instead of the car?
Well, and these questions you need to ask yourself. You want a new car because your neighbor bought a new car, or because you really need a car?
You can say that you want something, like you said, like the car. You want a car just to satisfy your ego, or you want a car because you really need a car?
But and then if you, even though you receive a bike, what you gonna do?
You'll be thankful for you have a
The
bike to go
bike
to
or
work,
gonna
or
be
you
complaining because you didn't get the car?
exactly. Most of the
Yeah.
time, we're gonna blame because we want something else. Yeah.
Yeah, this reminds me. I don't know how you know that story. I think it was you told me that a guy was in a flood and he
Yeah,
was on the top of the roof of the house,
yeah,
and then came the firefighter in a boat and said, "Hey, jump in." I said, "No, God save me. God,
yeah.
you
God
save
so
me."
gonna save me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And then came the helicopter. Hey, grab this the ladder, and they said, no, God gonna save me. And then the guy passed away.
yeah,
And in the heaven, when he arrives there, he met God and said, "Hey, I was there waiting for you, and you didn't save me." I said, "Well, I sent you a boat, and you didn't take. I sent you a helicopter, you didn't take. What am I gonna do?"
yep. Very true. How many of us, once we passed away, we are facing these situations when we say, "Oh, I wasn't lucky," and then, like André Luiz in El Solar, he starts to see things which happened in his past, and he starts to realize that he was put in a family, very wealthy back in the countryside of São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, if I don't remember. So he was put in the correct place, in the correct family, almost rich because André Luiz, his family was quite wealthy. And then what he did with his medicine, he was going around with some girls. Like in the movie, it says that he passed away because of he was a problem, but in fact, André Luiz died because of syphilis. Part of his death was because of syphilis, because he was a bon vivant in the nights, around his city. So he didn't really, he just had fun. So once he passed away to the spiritual world, he thought that he wasn't lucky, that God didn't listen to him, or God didn't give it to him. And the spirit say, they gave everything to you, a good life, a career for you to put medicine to help lives, not to help your ego, like Nate said. Then he realized that all his life he threw it away. He could be a really an amazing worker, but he wasn't. In fact, he became a great worker in the spiritual world, but in his life, he just lived for his passions, for his ego, and for his fun, you know. So we have cases like this all the time.
For sure. And maybe how many times
Yeah,
we can complain about things that that we think that we don't have it, instead of look for the things that we have and be thankful and see what we can do for that with that. Instead of just complain about the things that we don't have.
Appreciation, yeah.
yeah. Well,
Sorry, Steve. One other thing that reminds me. If you can ask any or most of the people that come to Ireland for the exchange, what they're gonna say? Ireland was my last choice. First, I tried America, then I tried Canada, New Zealand, and then I just ended up in Ireland. And they are here for 5, 7, 10, 15 years.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ireland 15, huh?
most of them prayed for America and they got Ireland and they are so happy. They are so happy that they couldn't be in another place anymore. So sometimes we don't know what we want, but God knows what we need. And then we
And
need to be
Yeah, I
thankful.
like that. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Ireland has been a great mother for most of us, for at least four of us here. It's been an amazing mother. So
Exactly.
Oh,
we
come
all,
on.
Is
Ireland.
I would say that part I can talk about myself. Okay, was the ignorance. I didn't know that I didn't even know that Ireland was speaking English. I didn't know that was how ignorant I was before. And then when I find out, I'm here for 7 years now. I don't think another place that I can live, like another place that speaks English. Of course, I can live in another place, but not. But I'm happy. I'm happy being here. I'm enjoying my life, and I'm really thankful for what I got because it was not what I wanted that time. but definitely was what I needed.
Yeah, it's important to like. This reminds me when Kardec was preparing the Spirits book. He received, I don't know, many letters. He interviewed a lot of spirits. He met a lot of mediums in all such type, and he used the methodology to do that in order to compose the books. Not in a rush, not in a of course he had a time to do it, but
Yeah.
he did this following a methodology, following a rule that he set for his life. So I'm not saying everything you need to do we need to follow these because it's kind of impossible. We just said here, but at least have your goals. Give some compensation to you. No, it's like small presents in order to incentivize you to go further. No, we need to understand that we are all evolving. I have problems, and perhaps what is problem for me is not a problem for any of three of you,
Yep.
and the other way around. Okay, so going back to the point of when Kardec, imagine this guy preparing like over 1,000 questions, reading every single answer, analyzing everything, and put this in a book in which guide us in everything we do in spiritism. And nothing what is there is different from what we are seeing today. And the book was compiled in the 19th century. Like the Bible, every time you read the Bible, it's accurate, is updated. So how we need to grab this to our life, how we want to make us feeling that we are not alone here. I don't know. I just a thought came to my mind here that we I like when Rodrigo said about the reason of faith. Um, are we doing this with us? Because it's easy to do to the others. When you're gonna talk about someone else, you sorted out the problem that person 100%, isn't it? How easy it is to sort it out someone's problem.
Yeah, much
Ah,
easier.
well,
Much easier.
yeah, it's easy.
But Steve, do you mind if I make a point from what you said? Please forgive me. But just like when you said about the Bible itself, I really think that what you said is correct. But when you think about the moral aspect of the Bible, because there's
Yeah, no,
sometimes
no,
yeah,
the moral aspect,
the moral
yes,
aspect.
yes.
Just to clarify that to people, because sometimes they may hear that, and they may come to us. So Adam and Eva, they existed or whatever, they can come to us. So it's correct. We're not saying this. We are talking about the moral aspect.
The moral aspect by Jesus,
Yeah,
yes,
especially by
yes.
Jesus. You know, um, but yeah, I think uh, it's the difficult task for us to put in practice what we preach to the others. That's why we belong to the Spirit Center. That's why we give speech, because it's
Yeah.
much easier for us. But
Uh-huh.
back then, if you go back, to what we were saying, we have to set our goals, but our models also. Like I have certain models which I have, because when Kardec says, the spirit say to Kardec in the question 600 whatever, so who is the most perfect spirit? See Jesus, but Jesus is too high for us. So I try to have someone closer to me here, which I really believe, okay, that person has certain moral aspects which are really inspired. I think they're quite aspirational to me. So I try to grasp on that people, because sometimes we aim too high and we are not humble enough to admit we are ourselves. We are, as you said, Stephen, we are still learning. We are still making mistakes. We cannot aim to be Paul of Tarsus in one life. How many lives he took? How many lives Peter took to become a Peter, Chico Xavier, and many other examples we have.
Yeah.
But maybe if you try to be, I don't know, nice as someone that we really appreciate, or at least have that quality that person have, it's a begin for us. I don't know.
You can try to be the best version of yourself.
Yes, every day. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
true.
It's not, of course, everything that we say here, it not mean that we, four of us, we are, that is easy, that we just be patient, that you're gonna get everything sorted. But as we said all the time, we need to try. For example, the only thing that's gonna make us better is when we work on your problems, or if you don't know, if you think, sometimes we think, Jesus, I have so many problems. I am a difficult person. I am a trouble person. But for sure, one thing you can do good, one thing you are good at, one thing, it doesn't matter if you are good at make your bed in the morning, if you are good at to do something, focus, take one day and focus your mind, your thoughts on that good that you are good at.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about what you are not good for the moment. Not forever, but for the moment. Try to work on that. Try to elevate your vibrations as well. It's not the point that all the time we need to put ourselves down to make to make other people seen us as a humble person or as a very spiritualized person. Sometimes we're not. So
Yeah, especially the others, like you are spiritist, so you are.
you cannot do that because you are spiritism. Who said that I cannot do that? I can do whatever I want. But of course, when we are in spiritism and we're learning, we know the consequences. Maybe we know a bit more than others because we always student this. We have more aspect. We get more knowledge. But we fail as well. If we fail once, let's try again. We're gonna fail twice. Let's try again. We are here for that, to try. We are in a trial and expiation word. Don't come here and just sit on your sofa and wait for the God to send you a signal or whatever to get something done.
Waiting for the job. The job, you're gonna ring your bell and say, "Hey, I'm here. You start tomorrow."
Yeah, exactly. No, wait.
Go
ahead, Andy.
No, just what when Rodrigo was talking, just remind me something. Like one thing that's important, Rodrigo, that you said in your talk. If you focus too much on your defects, in your defects, the words, sorry.
Vices.
In your vices, in your problems,
you will become depressed because you see yourself as the worst person in the world. If you focus too much on your qualities, you become too, how can I say,
prideful,
arrogant. You think that you'll be prideful, arrogant, and you say that I'm perfect. I don't have I'm the best person in the world. So that's why it's important. Back again, know yourself, because when you know yourself, you will know your qualities, and you know where you have to work, your defects, where is your problems is. So you have the conscience that you have to work your problems to be a better person, but in the same time you have to have the conscience that You are not perfect, and maybe you won't achieve everything in this life. So you have to be patient with yourself, work what you can, and be patient to not try to be perfect, because then you'll be again become frustrated and think that why I can't, and then you back again for the beginning, and never you go further. That's why I think the most important thing here is like know yourself, because when you know yourself, you will know exactly where you have to go and what you have to work, and the limits of yourself. I think that's for me is very important.
Yeah, it's true, Nidhi. Yeah, I like that. Well, it's a lot of things you need to do. The best way is give me the first step. The best way is you don't know how to ride a bicycle if you don't fall. You know, luckily we have friends to support us in our life. Like, thank God I have you guys, because who doesn't know, these are my family here, and we are here. You know, sometimes I say something, Wanderlei don't agree, Ned don't agree, Rodrigo don't agree, sometimes the other way around. But it's easy to say, hey, I'm sorry. But it's easy when you do this with friends. It's like it's easy to do with these three guys here. But we need to apply the same rule for those people who we have a kind of not good feeling to. Because it's easy to do that to those we love. What are you going to say, Rodrigo?
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I try my best, but I'm not there yet. I won't lie.
Yeah.
At least you recognize that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the first step, you know? This is the first step.
Yeah.
Well, we are not there yet, but we need you to. Like, how many times we said this, Wanderlei? Like, when you are giving a speech in a spirit center, 100% of the times the talk it's for you, not for the audience.
All the time. I never did a speech to anyone. It always did for myself.
Yeah.
Always did for myself. To study, to learn more, to comprehend better the teachings, whatever, but always for myself. That's why I always choose very similar topics. What to do.
But guys, can you just realize something? Any work that we can do in a spiritual center is not for the audience. It's always for us. Even when we're given a healing, you're not giving a healing to other people. We receiving the healing because we need. We think that, of course, we're helping other people. We're being there. We're helping, but we're receiving much more than we're giving. So I think
that's
the beautiful of to work in a spirit center that we can give at the same time that you are receiving a lot.
Yeah. It's like Cassia. Balance is the secret, but always hard to get there. Yeah, Cassia. We need to know how to balance. Perhaps you are asking now, but what is balance? And my answer to you is I don't know unless you start and try. Try. Start today. How was your day? What you did? What good deeds you did today? What good things you have done? What bad things you also did? And okay, I am not perfect. I did this wrongly. Okay, good. Second point. Okay, how I will fix that. But we don't do.
Steve, do you know what I think we do? That's why I think I was thinking about the parable of the talents. Because we are people who, there are people who receives much more than us. And we look at them with certain jealousy. As Rodrigo was saying in the beginning, I want a car, but I just received a bike. Some people they receive a bit more, and we're still very jealous. But we receive only one thing in life, as Rodrigo was saying also. We have to understand our potentials, understand what we can give. Sometimes we are giving something that we don't really appreciate, and we really imagine that that thing, that talent that we receive is just to keep for us, is not to spread with the others, such as whatever, such as to be working in a spirit center. If you don't believe in spiritism, to do something at work, to do your best at work, to maybe if you are good with words, to say good words to your flatmate who maybe is having a difficult time, or if you are good at numbers, help someone. Whatever you're good at, we are always good at something. Then the question, which I may leave to everyone, is what are we doing with the talents God is giving to us? Life is giving to us. Are we using that only for ourselves, hiding that, as the parable says, on the soil, or we are trying to make it flourish? Maybe it's time for us to flourish, to have whatever you have there and try to spread. Maybe some people they don't want to listen to you, but go to the others who want. Some people they don't want your help. Go to the others who want your help.
And even though when you start to flourish, you will still have heavy winds, rain. You still have
Yeah.
heat.
Difficult times.
So
Yeah.
you still have difficult times. So
Yeah.
and it also again this is like when we are talking about a spiritist person. Okay, they always say, "Oh, I'm passing through this. Oh, I don't know. I did everything, but this should be a karma. This should be something I did in my previous life. Oh, because in previous life I have done a terrible thing. Hey, wake up! It's 90% chance you are suffering today because you did something in this incarnation, in this life.
I think I'm hurting someone.
There beside.
Sorry.
Is a good spirit beside you there, yeah?
Yeah, that is a very good spirit here. Yeah, I'm sure. Oops, it's materialized.
Leah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. Look. Okay. Well, like what's Pedro wrote to us here. Hello, everyone. God keep blessing your souls. I'm in a big change in my life. My goals are bigger than ever. I need the courage and to get rid of some bad habits, in special the use of clonazepam, medicine for anxiety. Also, I need to be more patient to achieve the ascension I want to, knowing that the supreme source God is fair, therefore good. It's up to me to become a better person. Thank you very much for the spreading this routines. Best wish from Pernambuco, Brazil. Pedro, you have the recipe. You are you are able to recognize all these you need to work. So, my dear friend, I just say to you, keep doing because you are on the right path, and don't be afraid to fail, but have the courage to fix that. this is something we need always to keep in our mind. Don't be afraid to fail, but have the courage to fix whatever you did, whatever we done.
Yep.
Okay, I think our time is up. So, any final considerations, guys?
Just remind the guys that on Thursday we're gonna have Jack Darsa.
Yeah, next Thursday we're gonna have Jack Darsa at 7:15 in Ireland, 2:15 Eastern time. Also, for those who are in Ireland, SSI workers, we will start our study group this Wednesday, and Nate's gonna be there, ready to cut you in pieces. Okay?
Yes, tomorrow 8 p.m. here in Ireland, special for the workers of Spiritual Society of Ireland, guys. I hope to see all you guys there tomorrow. I already sent the link for the room for you guys, so don't forget tomorrow. I will be waiting. I'm back.
Better be there, guys.
Very low.
Nobody will appear tomorrow after that. No.
Yeah. No,
I'll be there alone.
She's gonna bake a cookie for everyone. She's gonna be kind. No, yeah. So let me see. That's good, guys. So let's finish. Our time is up. Thank you very much. So, Nate, can you do the final prayer for us?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So, guys, let's close your eyes if you can. Let's raise your thoughts to dear Jesus, to God, and to the higher spirits. First of all, say thanks to the mentors of the SSI, our mentors, for this moment, for share these thoughts, for share these words. I hope that these words could reach your heart, your soul, and help somehow. And that we all have a good week, a blessed week, with faith in God, always. And see you again very soon. So be it.
Yeah. And quickly, let me give you the agenda for the month, because today the last day of the month. Okay, so on the 2nd, where I already said we have Jack Darsa. On the 7th of July, Roberto Watanabe, he is president of the Spiriteers Federation of the state of São Paulo. On the 9th, us again.
Sorry, guys.
On the 14th, we have our dear Dana Sisi from California.
Must see.
Yeah. On the 16th, we're going to have Luciana Rodrigues. She's from the White Lily Spirit Center in Brazil, the Spirit Center from my hometown. So we're talking about my roots when I started with Spiritism. On the 21st, we do have Guilherme Velho.
Who is watching us today? Yeah, I saw him say.
Yeah, he's there. He's here.
Yeah, he's
oh, Guilherme. Okay, yeah, it's better be ready, my friend. Oh my gosh. So on the 23rd, us again. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
28th, Adam Osborne is back after a list of emails and chats. Adam Osborne is back with us again on the 28th. And on the 30th, to close the July month with Golden Key, we do have Charles Kemp.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
From the French Spiritist movement. So Charles is going to talk about Kardec and the stories and the history of the Spiritism.
The only problem that next month is us. All the other ones are.
But we are still learning. Sorry,
We're we're gonna start with Jack Darsa and finish with Charles Kemp. So,
Yeah.
and between we have Dan, we have Guilherme Velho again, we have the Osborne again. So, guys, sorry when we are there.
Just
Yeah.
a very quick statement that I forgot to say. Guys, it's not just for the SSI workers, the study group for that start tomorrow. If you are English speaker, because the group is they study are making English, and you want to join us, just send us a request, and you can join us because it's an open group. All right. The only thing is everything in English, so you have to speak English or at least understand. But it's not just for the workers; it's to the public as well, and for those, especially for those who used to go with us every Wednesday and are missing. We'll be very happy to have you back, guys.
Yeah, so send an email to spiritismireland@gmail.com with your email details, and Nady will send you the link for the study. Okay?
Yep.
Guys, it's time to up. We need to go because Kardec Radio, we need to close the bridge with America.
Okay.
I think Vanderlei wants to say something, yeah?
No, just a quick guys, because we're gonna have Charles here, guys. I know it's gonna be like in about 1 month, but for anyone who is watching us here, who are not Brazilian, who doesn't know much about Spiritism, about Kardec itself, about how Spiritism was created, how it was composed, please, guys, write down your questions, because Charles Kemp from the Belgian-French movement, he knows everything about Kardec, really technical questions. So if you guys have any kind of more powerful questions, shall we say, he's the correct man to reply to you guys. Please keep that in mind.
Yeah, right, because it will be great.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
See you.
Thanks for having me, and see you soon.
We'll wrap up. Thank you. Thank you, America. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, everybody. Thank you
Bye-bye.
from Brazil, Chicago, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.